Namaste everyone, ChristianRLong Life Enhancement Consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Friday. Got my friends messaging me while we're doing the stream. On this Friday, I guess we can say evening now, it's about 5 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time here in Denver, Colorado. It could be a different time or a different day for you depending upon when you're watching these live streams. And the messages keep coming in. But I want to jump on real quick. As you guys know, if this is your very first time watching these streams, we talk about 3 major topics. We talk about energy healing, meditation, and practical spirituality with the purpose of helping you transform your life. Michelle, Atma Namaste. Anna, Atma Namaste. And transformation looks differently to each and every person. But the ultimate purpose of transformation is to bring you from where you are ultimately back to oneness with God, oneness with all. Now, we might not be able to do that in this lifetime or even the next 1,000 lifetimes, but every little bit counts, moving us closer and closer and closer to oneness with God and oneness with all. So we do our little part here each and every day on these live streams. So I'm going to be flying out to Miami tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. My little butt's getting up and heading to the airport then to fly out with an opportunity to stay with a friend who's an Arhatic yoga practitioner, actually a long-time Arhatic yoga practitioner, who ends up, Sylvia, Atma Namaste, who ends up working at a spa in Miami Beach where right in front of the spa, or front of the building I should say, is a 10-foot tall woolly mammoth skeleton that's coated in gold. And it's $11 million. Desiree, Atma Namaste. Are you in Miami now? Paula, Atma Namaste. I know my girl Desiree is out in Miami. Kenny, Atma Namaste. What's up? So, I had an opportunity for some work opportunities, for some healing, for some connection with a fellow Arhatic yoga practitioner. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be super fun. For some very strange reason, I have this insatiable desire to have Cuban tacos when I'm in Miami, and I don't know why. If you guys remember a stream I did about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe even longer than 3 weeks ago, I haven't been to Miami in like 15 years or something like that. It might even be longer than 15 years. It's been a hot minute since I've been there. No, I leave on Monday. I had my dates incorrect, but we will connect soon. Okay. Well, I will be there until Wednesday. So I'm going to be there from Saturday afternoon to Wednesday afternoon. So maybe we can meet up for coffee or lunch or something like that in the area. If not, Cuban food. And which is funny because most Cuban food has pork in it, which pork is not very good for energy healers, advanced meditators, Arhatic yogis, because pigs don't sweat, and pigs keep their disease-congested energies in their cells, in their tissue, right? So when they are slaughtered, that heavy disease-congested energy stays in them, and if you look at it clairvoyantly, it's like a grayish, reddish energy, that when we consume that, it blocks some of our energy channels. That's a whole other conversation that we're not going to do for today's stream, but just planting the seed that in general, it's not recommended for people on the spiritual path to eat pork because it's very heavy. This has nothing to do with morality. This has nothing to do with ethics. This has solely to do with the energy aspect of pork. Now, what's the, James, Atma Namaste. What's up, high school / junior high classmate? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Actually, a funny story about James, I'll never forget it. Maybe he forgot it, but I didn't forget it. I remember him and I and 2 other friends were eating in the food court of a mall close to all of our houses. Hugo, Atma Namaste. And we were having pizza, and James remembered a funny story that happened a long time ago as a teenager, which is like 2 years. And I completely forgot the story. So then when he started bringing it up, it reminded me of the story, and I started telling it again. But you guys probably figure out by now, I like to story tell. I'm Irish. People who are Irish love to tell stories. Some of the best poets on the entire planet came from Ireland. My family's from Cork, Ireland, which is Southern Ireland. Back in the dizzy, about great-grandparents ago. And then they went to Canada and then to Massachusetts. So, I love the Irish heritage of telling stories. So I started to retell the story with James, or for James and for the two other guys, and James was laughing so hard. Milk was pouring, and who drinks milk as a teenager? Milk was pouring out of his nose, and I think he ruined his pizza slice that he was eating because it had milk all over it. Something really gross and disgusting that teenage boys love to torment and torture each other with, of how gross and how embarrassing can we make the other guy be in, because that's what we get off on. I realized that women or teenage girls growing up, they don't like to embarrass their girlfriends very much. Like, there's no joy. Adriana, namaste. There's no joy out of embarrassing their girlfriends. But with teenage boys and 20-something-year-old men and 30-something-year-old men and 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old men, there's some deep pleasure about tormenting and torturing and teasing your best friends. It's like the more you love them, the more you torture them. I can speak about that firsthand. The male friends in my life that I'm most close with, we torture each other most often. But that's a story for another day. Anyways, so what was today's topic? So that's my story for James, by the way. Props to James. If you're still on the stream, you might have just been coming in and coming out. 20K. What's the 20K? Oh, 20 karat? Ah, okay, 20 karat gold. Interesting. There's a celebrity we have on our stream, folks. She's right there. Can everyone see her? You'll be able to see her in the replay. So what was my point? Like, you know, these streams always have a point. I kind of tangentially go around the point, and then we eventually hit it right on the bullseye. And the point I want to talk about tonight is there's an old saying in business that it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that business principle also applies to your spiritual growth and development. So what do I mean by that? So you might have heard the term before, spiritual lineage, right? Spiritual lineage. So most spiritual schools and most spiritual institutions and religions have lineages of teacher to student, teacher to student, teacher to student, teacher to student. And the goal, Paul, Atmanamaste, Apurvi, Atmanamaste, the goal is to have the lineage not broken and to be as close to the beginning of that lineage as possible, right? To have your energy connected to the biggest source of any energy. Javier, Atmanamaste, because that's where you are getting empowered. That's where you're getting spiritually fed, is from that lineage. Now, some lineages are just within the past 50 years, and then there are some lineages that go back thousands and thousands and thousands of years, right? So the goal is to be as close to the lineage as possible in order to get the most amount of powerful spiritual energies and blessings from that lineage. So just like in the business world, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Meaning you could meet that right contact who can literally change your business overnight. So for those of you who watch this show, and it's my son's favorite show, Shark Tank, you have a group of 5 entrepreneurs that are worth hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, and have been in business for 10, 15, 20 years. Hugo, Atmanamaste. And then you have these people who have a product or service that they want to pitch to the sharks, they're called sharks, to see if they would fund that or not. Now, that's a big deal for a startup entrepreneur to be in front of 5 very successful entrepreneurs to pitch the idea, because that person, that entrepreneur, can make 1 or 2 phone calls or send 1 or 2 emails and literally transform that person's business from no one knows about their product or service to literally overnight they're worth millions of dollars. And that has consistently and persistently happened over the past 10 years on Shark Tank, right? So it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's who can open a door for you, a physical or financial door for you. Sandra, namaste. Shark Tank is my fave too. Who doesn't like Shark Tank? It's like super inspirational. So just like that works in the business world, it works in the spiritual world as well. So have you ever noticed, for those of you who have been meditating for a period of time, for those of you who have a spiritual teacher or spiritual guru, have you noticed whenever you're around that spiritual teacher or the senior practitioners within that school, that concepts that seem very difficult, very fuzzy, very obtruse and hard to understand, when you're in the presence of the teacher or the senior practitioners, everything tends to make sense. It tends to kind of like gel together and it's not so fuzzy, right? Have you ever noticed that? That's because you're in the aura of the teacher, you're in the aura of the senior practitioners, you're in the aura of the energy of the lineage that's blessing you and guiding you and helping you, right? So the lineage that pranic healers are part of is basically the lineage of Lord Buddha Kuan Yin, the path of the Bodhisattva. Marcos, Abba Namaste, the path of loving kindness, non-injury, the path of compassion and mercy, right? That's the lineage that pranic healing and Arhatic yoga is part of, which is a very, very powerful lineage for what? For healing, for blessings, for wish fulfillment. So it's great to be part of this community. So how does this relate to my opportunity of going to Miami? Because there are pranic healers and Arhatic yogis in over 90 countries around the world that I and any other pranic healer and Arhatic yogi can call last minute and say, hey, do you know of a place I could go to? Do you know of a place I could stay? Could I stay with you? Could we do business together? Could we do healings together? Could we do meditations together? Can we add value to each other's lives? And people are open and receptive to that. Why? Because our teacher, Grandmaster Choel Koksui, the modern founder of pranic healing and Arhatic yoga, trained us very, very well. He trained us to be virtuous people, to practice character building on a daily basis. Now, does that mean that we're all perfect? No. Does that mean we never make mistakes? No. Does that mean we make mistakes quite often? Yes, we all make mistakes. We're all in the process of growing and evolving and becoming better people. That's just how it is. But through Grandmaster Choel Koksui's teachings, through his blessings, through his guidance, through his books, his CDs, his classes, his senior practitioners, there's a very, very strong, solid foundation for which we all can lean on for energy, for love, for wisdom, for intelligence, right, of making the right decisions in our lives. And we have a global network of practitioners that we can plug into. I'll give you an example. Right on this stream right here, we have Marcos. Marcos is a longtime pranic healer and Arhatic yogi in Puerto Rico. There's a standing invitation from Marcos that anytime I want to go to Puerto Rico, I buy my ticket. Leslie, I'm a namaste. I buy my ticket and I fly down there. And I have a place to stay. I have somebody to show me around. I have somebody to do spiritual practice with. I have somebody to do healing with, like that. No questions asked. That's pretty amazing. I also have an open invitation for anyone who wants to come to Denver. I have a 1-bedroom, but there's still room for one person to come here, crash on the couch, crash on an air mattress, and I will show them around Denver, right? Linda, I'm a namaste. Good to have you on. I haven't seen you in a while, girl. Hope you're doing well. Another example, there is a new pranic healer. See? Marco says, yes, indeed. So there's a new pranic healer. Granted, she's actually been a long-time pranic healer, but her and I are new in the sense of connecting on Facebook. And she lives over in Cyprus. And she has a pranic healing center in Cyprus. And she said to me, Christian, whenever you want to come out here to Cyprus, you have a place to stay, a place to do your spiritual practice, a place to receive or give healings, No questions asked. And a place to be shown around. Sharon, Atma Namaste. Good to have you on the stream as always. So how beautiful is that? And some people might be saying, well, are these healers trustworthy? Are these pranic healers trustworthy? Are these arhatic yogis trustworthy? How do you know they're not going to take advantage of you? How do you know they're not going to rob you? How do you know they're not going to lead you astray? How do you know that they're not really going to have a place for you to stay? Why do we know in most cases, if not all, this would not happen? Again, it goes back to being part of a powerful lineage and being close to the energy, close to the teacher, close to the blessings that we're taken care of, that we're provided for. Now, that doesn't mean pranic healers don't make mistakes, and it doesn't mean that arhatic yogis don't make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. I'm still growing and evolving and becoming a better person. But if somebody says to me, hey, Christian, can I come and visit you this weekend or next month, and I have an open schedule? Like that. No problem. Absolutely. And I will be there at the airport. Megan, Atma Namaste. I will be there at the airport to pick your butt up, and I will also drop you back off at the airport, and I will also show you around Denver. You can bet your bottom dollar on that, right? Another example of the beautiful network that has been created through pranic healing and arhatic yoga. So there's a retreat going on at the middle of May in California, in Oxnard. Well, I know somebody in Oxnard, so guess what I did? Instead of doing an Airbnb, which I typically do, or a hotel room, which I sometimes do, I contacted my friend, longtime pranic healer arhatic yogi, and I said, hey, can I crash with you? And he says, absolutely. No questions asked. Why? Because in pranic healing, we're taught to live a virtuous life. And one of the virtues we talk about is generosity and non-stealing. Generosity and non-stealing meaning we open up our resources, we open up our wallets, we open up our time, we open up our hearts, we open up things to make it available to other people. Why? Because we were taught that by our teacher, Grandmaster Choa. Now, other schools, other religions, other schools, other teachings have their specializations, have their ninja powers, have their focuses. Pranic healing is focused on healing and service. Pranic healing is focused on healing and service. And we pretty much do our best to cover the whole gambit. Amen. Woo, woo, woo. That's how I know, like, I remember one of the senior instructors in pranic healing was talking about how Grandmaster Choa Koksui developed pranic healing. He was literally sitting down and asking the question, what does humanity need? What does humanity need? Well, wait a minute. Well, humanity needs physical healing because we have physical bodies that get sick. Great. We'll create this healing system to help with physical healing. Okay. People have emotional bodies. They have stress. They have anxiety. They have phobias. They have depression. Okay, great. We'll create healing for emotional and mental disorders. Okay, people have spiritual longing, spiritual yearning. So we'll create a system to spiritually feed people, arhatic yoga. And then you have all these other classes. People want to develop their clairvoyance so they can be greater instruments of goodwill. We'll create a class for that. People need to be materially and financially prosperous, abundant, and successful. Okay, great. We'll create a class for that. So Grandmaster Choa Koksui simply asked the question, what does humanity need? And then he developed a program. This class, that class. This class, that class. This class, that class. And what makes it super profound and amazing, it's a system. That's what makes it amazing. It's a system for personal and spiritual development on a very, very, very accelerated path, but it also keeps you protected and safe along the way. Right? It's one thing to have a fast car, but if that fast car doesn't have brakes on it, not so good. It's another thing if you got a super fast car and then you got the best brakes in the world, and then you have the best tow truck company behind you, and you have the best frame that it's indestructible, right? And the best cushioning on the inside. So that's the system, right? So that's what pranic healing or Hatha yoga is. Megan's given amens all up in this place. I love it. So that's something I wanted to share with you guys, that I have to remind myself of, Becca, Atma Namaste. I have to remind myself of the gratitude of the community of 1 million practitioners, 1 million plus pranic healing practitioners from around the world, that we can tap into those resources. Monica, Atma Namaste. We can tap into those resources, the physical resources, the financial resources, the emotional resources, the intellectual resources, the healing resources, the spiritual resources. We can tap into so many beautiful things. Now, here's the interesting thing. It's a cycle of giving and receiving. So you can't just tap into the pranic healing network and take, even though there's plenty of people within pranic healing that have no problem with that. They're like, here, take whatever you need, take whatever you want, take whatever you desire, because I am provided for, right? That person's going to get a lot, but there's going to come a point that they're going to have to start giving as well. So it's a giving and receiving. It's open your home up, open your heart up, open your wallet up, right? And also be willing to ask other people, hey, can I crash at your place for the night? I'll give you a funny story. So I had a place at this past retreat in San Diego, and she'll probably be jumping on later. At this past retreat in San Diego, I had an Airbnb, and then after my Airbnb, I was going to stay with a friend in the LA area. And then I decided to leave my friend and spend some time with a client, and it didn't make sense for me to drive one direction and then drive, which is the opposite direction of where I need to go the following day. So I thought to myself, well, wouldn't it make sense just to get a place to stay right here? Like, stay where I'm at, and then when I wake up in the morning, I can just drive south. Clara, Atma Namaste. So guess what? I send out a message in the morning to one of my friends who's a client of mine. Most of my clients are most of my friends. And I send out the message, and then guess what? Later that evening, I had a place to stay, and it was a beautiful experience. It was super convenient. They were super loving and kind and open, and it was like, it kind of brought tears to my eyes, because I was like, these people don't know me at all. Zero. But because we're pranic healers, because we're arhatic yogis, we're open and receptive to take care of each other. Because we practice the virtues. Isn't that amazing? Like, when you really think about that, it's like super, super inspiring. And it made my day much, much easier. And how fulfilling was that for me to give my money to a fellow arhatic yoga practitioner versus giving my money to an Airbnb host or stranger that I don't know who they are and what they're about, or giving my money to a corporation that I don't know who and what they're about as well. Not to say that they're not giving a valuable service, but if I had to choose between giving it to an arhatic yogi or not, I'm going to give it to the arhatic yogi. Does that make sense? So for those of you, I'm planting a seed, for those of you who are in the dating world and you're looking for like-minded people, there is a website called chakramatching.com, chakramatching.com, where it has pranic healers and arhatic yogis from around the world who are looking to date people with similar values, similar practices, similar viewpoints, similar ways of living, right? So that's one resource. And then there's another resource, and I don't know if it's currently active, but a place to hire other people, a place to hire other practitioners, right? So if you need web design, if you need marketing help, if you need auto work, if you need whatever, there's an opportunity to become part of a pranic healing or arhatic yoga network to work with other practitioners, right? Because again, we're basing it on the assumption that this person has been trained in virtuous living, and wouldn't you want to do business with someone who is virtuous, who is like-minded versus not, right? Now, there are wonderful people and many virtuous people in the world who are not pranic healers and are hatha yogis, right? That's pretty obvious, right? But it's a great filtering mechanism, if you will. Is this making sense? Is this clear to you guys? Am I going all over the map? I'm trying my best to be clear and communicative today. That being said, for those of you who are looking for healing, who are looking for transformation, who are looking for help, guidance, and protection in some area of your life, I recommend going to ChristianRLong.com/services. It's my name. ChristianRLong.com/services. I've been a pranic healer. I've been a professional pranic healer for 15 years. God, it's been 15 years. For 15 years. So I've had the opportunity, the honor, and the blessings to work with thousands of people one-on-one over the years. And I implemented coaching into my healing practice about 6 years ago. Dean, Atma Namaste, bringing the heat from Australia. You're probably, 12 hours? It's probably 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Tell us later the website where Pranic can offer their services. Yeah, Hugo, I can't remember if that was... It's probably 8 years ago that I remember this website being talked about, and I think part of it was implemented, but I can't remember for the life of me right now. I can send a message to one of the masters and find out if that site does still exist. But yeah, isn't it funny when I'm not talking? It's like super quiet. Do you feel it? It's like very still. But in that stillness, there's like a lot of dynamic mojo. You can feel like the vibrations. Huh. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So that being said, if you need healing, reach out to me. If you don't know what pranic healing is, reach out to me. I'll ask you what your situation is, what you need help with, show you how we can do healing, right? How pranic healing can help you. If you are an experienced practitioner, you can also hire me. Many of my clients are experienced, long-time or hatha yogi practitioners, which they have usually very unique circumstances and unique energies and unique situations that come up for them. So that's always a blessing to help them on their paths. So Hugo says, including couching in your healing practices was a great idea. Couching is in vogue now. Ooh. What's up, couching.com? I think I've done couch surfing maybe once in my life. I still get emails from people who are interested in doing couch surfing because I'm on the website, couchsurfing.com or .org or whatever. But it's like now, because of Airbnb, people aren't really crashing on couches anymore. They're just opening up an entirely separate room and then charging people like a hotel fee for it. Hugo says, one last thing, a different topic, given that there are two Hugos watching your streams often, you can differentiate us pronouncing my name as Hugo. That's fair. Which is actually the right pronunciation in Spanish. But the other Hugo is also Spanish. Actually, it is Latino named originally. Okay. Can't I just call you Go? Like we have Hugo, and you'll be Go, and then we'll know. There'll be no more confusion. Linda says, yes, you can feel it. Yeah, the stillness is really potent. I'm a couch surfer too. I would be a couch surfer. Animal. Anna knows all about the stillness. You know why? It just occurred to me. You know why the stillness is more pronounced and more palatable? It's because we are entering in the Wesak Festival, which is going to be May 18th of this year. It's the most powerful and potent spiritual day of the entire year. Of the 365-day calendar, that, the peak of the full moon of Taurus, is on May 18th. And That's why the stillness is so powerful. So every day that we get closer and closer and closer to the full moon of Taurus, you're going to notice that your meditations are going to deepen. It's going to be easier to be still. It's going to be easier to expand. It's going to be easier to hear the whisper of the higher soul. It's going to be easier to go places in your meditation practice, because we're getting closer and closer and closer to the most powerful spiritual day of the entire year. Which is actually kind of funny, because as I'm talking about it, even in this moment, my crown chakra is getting super activated. In that case, call me jugo, like juice in Spanish. Oh, that's pretty cool. So many people call me like that. I love jugo. Is amazing. It's like Jamba Juice, which is a juice place, and Hugo. Jugo. Oh, perfect. See how we came together and we solved that? Jugo. I love it. Yeah, not a problem. I'll call you Jugo, and our other baby, Hugo, will he's thinking of hiring me for healing. It was interesting. He wanted healing. He's definitely on the spiritual path. He's awakening to certain things, but he just needs like some clarification and a little cleansing to get him in the right direction. And he asked me what my rate was, and I said I said $225 for 60 minutes. $225 for 60 minutes. 30 minutes of coaching, 30 minutes of healing. And then he said, how did he put it? Something like, how many sessions is that? And I've had that happen a couple times. Like, how many sessions is that? Because people are not used to paying $225 for one session of coaching and healing. But people have to understand what is happening to the energy body and what can shift for a person within one healing session. There are pranic healers who charge $1,000, $5,000, and up for healings. $1,000 to $5,000 and up for one single healing session. But look at it this way. If that healing session transformed the rest of your incarnation, what's that worth to you? If you had a smoking addiction that you've tried everything to quit, and you're spending $4,000 a year on smoking, and you're destroying your health, and you're cutting 15 years off of your life, and one healing session takes that addiction away, what's that worth? Let's say you're suffering from anxiety that torments you day after day after day after day, and nothing you've tried has worked, and you get one healing and it takes that away for the rest of your life, what's that worth to you? Let's say you're going through a very, very tough time with your spouse, and you're talking about having a divorce, and you have children. That divorce is going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars. It's going to cost you years of pain and suffering, and it's going to detrimentally impact your children. What would it look like if you had one healing that removed all the negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative cords between you and your partner, and then healed those connections between the two of you, that allowed you to heal the marriage and relationship and allowed you to move forward, stay together, be stronger than ever before? Where's all this light coming from? What's that worth? It's priceless, right? Priceless. So whenever people say, I don't know, isn't this free? This energy healing stuff, it's energy's everywhere, right? Energy's everywhere. Well, it took somebody time to what's the word I'm looking for? To codify how to take the energy that's everywhere and use it for a productive purpose to properly, rapidly, and safely heal somebody. And that takes years and years and years of training to do it properly, right? What's that worth? Doctors go to school for years to become good at what they do, and they're hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? For cancer treatments, for instance. Lawyers go to school for years, and they can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars and even jail time. So what's that worth? So it's the same thing within the world of energy healing and energy medicine. If the person is properly trained and they are able to produce powerful results for people, what's that worth? It's priceless. All right, everyone's doing thumbs up. Everyone relax. Hold on a second. Jugo. Oh, that's so funny. India Arhatic Yogis have initiated the Arhatic Matrimony group also. Arhatic Yogis also from different countries doing energy practices and physical practices to prepare. All right, hold on everybody. To prepare to be the right partner, to attract the right partner for oneself. Right is in the parentheses because the definition for a right partner varies from person to person. Absolutely. He says, yeah, I know people who have been smoking for decades who got healed within 30... Jose! What's up, son? Who got healed within 30 minutes of pranic psychotherapy session. No withdrawal symptoms, no backsliding. And the best part, those formerly addicted to such vices are now also healers. Think about that, guys. Really think about that. Somebody's been smoking for years. Years. One healing session. They're transformed. Then they become healers. And then they're able to generate good karma by healing and helping hundreds, if not thousands, of other people. Juga says, it is true. It is priceless, and sometimes it only takes one healing session. Correct. Yeah. So I hope that inspires you guys to understand how powerful, how beautiful, and how sacred the pranic healing and Arhatic yogi network is around the world. That we are people of goodwill and the will to do good. We've been trained by an amazing teacher because we're part of an amazing lineage to help alleviate the suffering, the pain, the sorrows of humanity. That even one pranic healing session is priceless. Is priceless. And it's funny because I've noticed, this is not in all cases. What's up, Eric? Atma Namaste. I hope the barbecue business is going well. This is what I've noticed in most cases, not all cases. People who get free healings week after week, month after month, year after year, tend not to make big progress in their development, and they tend to be stuck with their ailment and condition for a prolonged period of time. Versus the person who takes a large portion of their income, I'm not recommending that you do this, I'm just giving you the examples, who takes a large portion of their income relative to what they have, and they invest in their healing. Those people, in my experience of doing this for 15 years, will have a miraculous healing. Stephen, Atma Namaste. Good to have you on. Looking forward to doing the healing with you on Sunday. So I'll leave you with this final announcement before I jump on a plane very early in the morning tomorrow to go to Miami. Is this coming Sunday, we're doing a live Twin Hearts meditation as a group with a group healing at the end at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Not Pacific, not Eastern, not Central, Mountain Time, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Lucia, Atma Namaste. Good to have you on as always. And we're going to be doing, the meditation is open to everyone. It's free for all. It'll always be free. The meditation on Twin Hearts will always be free. The healing is a suggested donation of $25. Why? Because there has to be some kind of exchange of energy. If you want healing and you want to increase your entitlement to being healed, giving money entitles you to faster healing. You can take it, you can not take it, you can believe me, you can not believe me. You have free will. Thanks, I appreciate that, girl. I will have a safe trip. Anyways, so if you are looking to become part of that meditation, below this video on Facebook, below this video is the link. It's the little advertisement with the link, the PayPal link, the Zoom link. That's the link you click on 5 minutes before 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And the goal is to have 100 people consistently attending that event every week. Because the more people we have meditating together, the more powerful the experience for everybody. Does that make sense? So if we have 100 people on from around the world meditating at the same time, blessing and healing Mother Earth, blessing and healing all sentient beings, the amount of energy we can generate will be phenomenal. Amy, Atma Namaste. New York Times, you are the best. I do what I can, Jose. I like to mix it up. I like to keep it interesting. And again, none of these are my teachings. None of these are my ideas. None of these are my blessings. They're Master Choa's. I'm simply the little guy with the big fat mouth, always talking every day about what we do, new offerings, new healings, new services, new products, anything that we can do to help move your lives forward, if that makes sense. And Sharon says, awesome. Bam, 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 bam. So I want to thank you guys very, very much for sharing your time, sharing your energies, sharing your love with me, with the group. May it come back to you and your family many, many times. Definitely hire me for healing if you're looking to transform. And definitely be on the meditation this coming Sunday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Because last time we had people logging in an hour before or 2 hours later. And I'm like, guys, it says Mountain Time. It says Mountain Time everywhere. It's Mountain Time. I'm in Denver. I'm not in Egypt. It's Mountain Time, which Egypt is 8 hours ahead of Denver. Anyways, love you guys very, very much. Have an amazing, phenomenal Friday evening. Be safe if you're going out. Have fun. Mix it up. Laugh. High five strangers. Make new friends. Make new connections. Have a great weekend. I'll be messaging you guys from Miami tomorrow at some point. I have healings tomorrow, don't I? I think I do. I have to check my schedule. Anyways, let me know how I can serve you. Let me know how I can add more value to your lives. Let me know what else you need, want, and desire. Because everyone has their interests. Everyone has their specialties. You guys were mentioning you were interested in having a book club for Master Choa's books. So maybe once a week or every 2 weeks, we whip out one of Master Choa's books and we read it. And then we discuss it as a group. And we could do it over Zoom, so we can do it live. We can see each other. We can hear each other. It's not just you commenting. But that's something that has to be planned, because I'm a big believer of consistency and persistency with the things that we do. I'm not a big fan of like, hey, let's have this meditation. We'll run it for 3 weeks, and then that's it. That's not how I roll. I like to do something consistently and persistently, week after week, month after month, year after year. That's how I roll. So that's why I like to find the right time and then be like, all right, guys, this is the time that we're going to stick to, consistently and persistently. We've done that with the feeding program. We've done that with different Twin Hearts meditations. We ran them for years at the same time. Sylvie says, great idea. Yeah, it's a great idea, but we have to have people showing up. There's no point in having something scheduled every week or every 2 weeks and have nobody show up, right? So that's why we like to have lots of people on the events. More people on the events, more energy, more blessings, more help, more guidance, more insights. It's a no-brainer, right? So the more we can have on our events, the more people we can have on our events, the better it is for everybody. It increases the learning curve of the group too, right? Because you have more fat heads coming together to come up with ideas, to come up with, things that we can do to improve the quality of our lives. Anyways, hope that helps. Hope that makes sense. Hope you guys have a phenomenal night. This is ChristianRLong, Life Enhancement Consultant, wishing you a beautiful Friday, a beautiful week, and a beautiful life. Atma Namaste. Bye-bye.